Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. It is time for another Upcycled Fashions video. I am going to try to do a very simple transformation. I am trying to possibly do 2 Upcycled Fashion videos a week. One a very simple one and then one a more elaborate one or more complicated or just something that is completely out of my comfort zone. So today is going to be the simple one, and I am using a shirt that I got from Julie in Ohio. Hi Julie. And she sent some clothing, and in there was this beautiful peacock fabric. It's sheer, it's 100% polyester. I thought at first it was a typical blouse, but no. The front is, let me see if I can show you. The front is cut into, you'll see it better on the table, into points. The point is like in the center and the hem is rounded. And when that hangs, it just drapes nicely. Very similar to cocoon wraps that I used to make with my India tapestries. I used to make a rounded front, only mine were longer and the person could actually like flip it over their shoulders or on both sides. It was really cool. I think if I just take the sleeves off this, and I'm going to do that in a different way also, I think that this would make a really cute little top to just put over a bathing suit top. I'm all about the beach lately. Not for myself, but it's what I'm thinking of. I think of things I would have liked when I was at the beach. I think it'll be cute, and it should be simple to do, to just remove the sleeves and refashion it a little bit. I am going to think if there's anything that I can actually do with the sleeves. There's not a lot of fabric to work with, but I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. So that is what I'm going to attempt today, and let's just go on over to the sewing table and get started. I want to show you the shape of the front of this shirt. Both sides are the same. I know it's hard to see, but I'm just going to, outline it. See, the point goes all the way here, and then it's curved to the hem, like that. And then the other side is the same. It's just a long, pointy front that curves. So I like that idea for doing drapey shirts like this, and when it's worn, the back is longer than the front. Very, very cool. I have decided I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I initially thought. I was going to just cut this sleeve out and hem the armhole, but I don't want it to just look like a sleeveless top. I would like it to look more like a tank. So I'm going to lay this out, and I'm going to cut like from here and to an angle to the side seam. So it's going to be more like an A-line. And it's a big enough shirt, so it'll still be, nice and loose. So let me just arrange this, and then I'll show you. Here's what I decided to do. Since this fabric is so super slinky, I turned it inside out, so that way after I cut, I can just go right to the sewing machine. All I did was lay this flat. I don't care about the position of the shirt. I don't even care about that sleeve. I just made sure that my side seam is nice and flat and that the seam for the shoulder is there, and just kind of lay it flat a little bit as best as I can. I'm going to just start here and cut at an angle up to here. And I think that will look less like a sleeveless shirt and a little bit more like an A-line kind of tank top. Now again, since this is slinky fabric, and since I already have it inside out, I am going to go ahead and put a few pins, just a few. You know I'm not into pins. You know what? I just realized I can't just sew all the way up this shirt because I obviously need a hole for the arm. I'm going to do this instead. I'm just going to take this apart. I am going to be double folding and making a hem all along this raw edge, and then I'll show you after what I'm going to do. But first, I am going to do the other side. So let's just use our piece that we cut off as the pattern. As slinky as this is, I am going to just double fold and stitch all around that raw edge that I just created. That was easy enough. And it's nice and clean. It's not puckering. Do love. I'm just going to finish the other side off camera and then I'll be back. This is the whole side seam here. I'm only going to close up a little bit of it. Oh, about like 7 or 8 inches of it. I have 2 pins. I just put it on my dress form to get an idea. So the armhole is going to be very long and there's going to be a slit at the bottom. I just think it'll just be cute. It'll be even that much more free-flowing. It's obviously going to always be worn over a tank top or a bathing suit or something. So we're going with that. And I have wrong sides together. I am just going to be bringing this to the machine and just stitching right here. So the edge is finished and it's just going to be sewn that way. Before I do that, I'm going to flip this over to the other side and match my pins up on the other side also. So what I've done is I just put my other side together and I'm going to just flip it to match this, and I'm just going to put pins about where those pins are. And I'm just going to sew between the pins on both sides. And we are done. I'll be taking this up to the mannequin there in a little bit, but you can see we have a nice long armhole. And then it's stitched for a little bit, and then we have a side slit. I think that's going to just look super fresh for summer. Now let me look at these sleeves and see what I can do with this. I have cut the sleeves apart and opened them up. I really have no clue at all where I'm going with this, but what I am going to do at this point is I'm going to just lay one sleeve on top of the other. And I'm just going to cut straight across. And I'm going to just even out the sides a little bit, keeping the same shape of the sleeve. Oops, and I'm only cutting through one layer. Why am I not using this? All right. I'm going to take this hem off too. So now I'm left with this useless thing. All right, back to the drawing board. I'm going to double fold and hem on both sides of each piece. Now I'm going to make a casing on both the top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is just fold over once and stitch, and then I'm going to fold over like maybe a ½ inch and stitch. I've had a change of plans. I'm actually going to be stitching these 2 pieces together about to here. I'm going to do it right sides together this time, not like I did on the sides. But I'm not going to stitch over the casing because I still want to be able to pass something through both of these panels. So I'm going to put these right sides together and I'm going to stitch just above the casing. Well, I'm just going to guess there. I'm trying to make a halter top. I don't even know if I've told you that yet. If I need to adjust, I can always sew more after. I forgot you again. Very good at doing that. Had I realized I was going to do this, I would have just sewn these 2 pieces together and then made the casing. But there's just a little slit there for the casing, and when that's gathered, that's not going to matter at all. When I cut the shirt, remember when I cut it from the shoulder down to make it like an A-line? I got these 2 pieces of scraps that I'm going to use exactly as they are. Right now, I have them right sides together. One edge is finished by the manufacturer. I'm just going to sew the other 2 edges together. This is going to make the straps for the back of the halter. I'm not being fussy here. I'm not trimming anything. I am just going to sew. And I am going to sew right off the point. And I will turn this right side out. I will take one of my paint brushes or something and push that all the way out. My points are a little bit filled with fabric because I didn't bother to trim or anything, but that's all right. It'll be like an anchor to keep you from blowing away in the wind. I'm going to just trim these evenly. And I am going to, I think I'm going to just fold each edge in and stitch all around just to make that a nice even little hem, and then I will be attaching it to this top. That's right, I have a casing. Before I attach these, I need to put some elastic in the front of this, and then I will sew these on. So let me just go hem the ends of these. I was going to fold the ends in, but with slinky fabric, that's going to be hard. So I am just going to fold over once. That edge will be hidden on the shirt anyway. I'm going to put some elastic through here. I was going to use elastic cord. I wonder if that would be enough. I'm going to use braided elastic. I wonder what would be more comfortable. Well, I'm going with the braided. All right, so I want this to gather, but not a whole lot. That would bring it down to like there. Give room to make it fit. Going right there. Don't you love the way I make decisions? Oh, it's getting dark. I need to change my settings. No, not time to change my settings yet. Okay, I'm just going to pass this elastic through with a safety pin. This piece is at the end now. So I'm going to, before I even finish passing this through, I'm going to go and stitch this down so I don't lose it. And now I'm just going to continue passing it through, and I'm going to stitch it down on the other end now. And of course, because I have the wrong glasses on, I ended up hitting the safety pin and I broke my needle. Now I am going to sew the ties to the shirt. One is wider than the other. Am I okay with that? I probably am. I am okay with that. I'm going to do it on the right side of the shirt so I can just cover up that elastic. And I'm going to do that on both sides. I am just going to put this down on here. Is this my wider one or narrower one? It's my narrower one. I am going to take that other one in a little bit, I think. I'm just putting this down right here, and I'm going to top stitch. So we have one side done. Now this bugger, yeah, it is a little bit bigger. So what am I going to do about this? Alright, I'm just going to cut. I don't want to do any seam ripping. I'm just going to cut this up. It's just going to make it a little bit shorter than the other one. I'm just going to turn this inside out a little bit. And this is the side I stitched on. And I'm just going to take that in a little bit. It won't matter if it's all the way down. Let's try that. Now I'm going to see if that's a little bit more the same width as the other guy. And that is. So I'm just going to now again fold this over a little tiny bit to stitch it down. I am going to bring this over here and I'm going to top stitch onto this. So far, so good. I'm going to like those ties on there. Now I need to pass a casing through the top of each of the halves of the halter. I think I am going to try the cord for that, not the big elastic. So let's just see how this looks. And I hope this pin is small enough to go through. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I'm thinking that I might, I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's think about this. I wonder if just having some black elastic like this showing would be okay. And then tying a cord, you know, I have a little bit of fabric left to make something around the neck. I am going to do this. I'm going to make a loop like this, and then I will just attach a strap to that. How does that look? I think that's going to be a good idea. So I'm just going to wrap this around my phalange and make a knot. Of course, this halter top is see-through, so it's going to be for a very brave woman. What was supposed to be a quick transformation is taking me a long time. Not sure I like this. I gotta go see on my mannequin. I'll be right back. You guys, this is wicked cute. When you see it on her, you will agree, I do think. So when I have this on my mannequin, this goes pretty close to almost up to her shoulder. So I'm just going to make some straps. They don't have to be extremely long. I'm going to attach the straps to this loop so we don't see this knot. Do that on both sides and we should be done. I have some here at the bottom of each sleeve, you know, of the shoulder part of the sleeve, thinking that will be long enough for each side. And I know this is very, very slinky. I'm going to try to fold both sides in. Oh my God, that's never gonna work. And I think I can do it. It's slinky and extremely narrow, but once I get it started, I should be okay to just tuck it in. I'd show you exactly what I mean, but I can't. While I've got this one, I'm going to go ahead and trim. Oh, I'm going to trim this and I'm going to put the knot of that elastic on the inside. Now I'm going to just take this strap, just pass it through here and around, and I'm just going to stitch it closed to secure. And I went back and forth a few times. And I'm going to just trim any raw edge of that strap that is showing. Little threads and stuff. Okay, let's do the other side. Just for the sake of editing, I'm going to do this one off camera. I either lost a clip of footage or I forgot to turn my camera on. I'm pretty sure I showed you the halter and the shirt, but now we're just skipping right to the mannequin. You guys, I just love the way this came out. It's what I wanted, but better. I just absolutely love it. You can see that I just turned it out a little bit, but this is how it looks if it's just, closed. It has those pointy edges that end up, they were like this, those edges, but when they hang, they just make the hem of the shirt. Just love it. And it can be, it's even cute just, if you're walking and it just blows in the wind. Very happy with how this turned out. See, you can see it's got the high-low hem. And then let me show you the back. I love the back too. Just came out so cool. You can see there's the little side slits. I mean, it was a nice blouse, but this just made it so fresh for summer. I just love it. All right, now let's try the halter on. For not having a clue what I was going to do at all with those sleeves, this ended up coming out so cute. And, I just love the way these scraps just accidentally became the perfect straps for this halter top. Long enough to even tie with a bow. The straps up here are long enough to tie a bow. Super cute. Again, it's sheer, but you might be able to find a way to cover up a little bit, or you can just wear it sheer. This is a little bit more puckery than I would like up here, but if somebody has a longer torso, this can be pulled down, and then these puckers, can be more like down here. Actually, let me try something. I like that better. I just loosened the neck a little bit, and I pulled it down a little. It just fits looser that way, and it's not so bunched up around the neck. Okay, this is the perfect way to wear this top. Oh, so let me show you again the sides. And did I show you the back already? Yes, I did. It just ties at the neck and around the back. Now let's see what it would look like with the little, what are we going to call it? Summer vest over it. This is so super cute. I've just never liked something so much. I absolutely love it. I love the high-low hem. I just love that I have a little peekaboo halter top under there. And again, this could be worn just, actually that can go back a little bit. It just makes such a cute little cover up over your sexy sheer halter top. Trying to make it even here. It's just so cute. And this little vest could always be, closed with a pin or something if you want a closure. I love it. I do. So remember, this is elastic in the front, so it really will fit a lot of sizes. Okay, let me take some pictures. I think we are done.
I didn't even get a chance to say bye to you guys. I really enjoyed this upcycled fashion, but I have been at this for 9 hours now, and it's going to take at least another hour before I can get this uploaded to YouTube. So let's just say I put in a 10-hour day on one video. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!